3 years ago, I made my first game, which was absolutely terrible, but as you'll see in this video, I've improved a lot over the years. It all started 3 years ago when I saw a video of someone making a game, and I thought to myself, that seems easy. So I downloaded Unity, and I'm not kidding you. I opened the code editor and I wrote add player. I pressed play, and to my surprise, it did not work. I thought the code probably just doesn't know what the player should look like, so I added human at the end just to clear everything up, and when that didn't work, my monkey brain shut down completely. After this realization, I quit. For like 3 days, and I jumped back in. I was ready to learn. I visited the place all game devs visit at the start of their journey, Bracky's YouTube channel. I watched a bunch of videos and I decided it was time. I was ready. So after what felt like days, I made something I was sure would change the gaming industry as we know it. Well, I remember this being a lot cooler. So with my head held high after making my first ever game, I jumped straight into another project. I seem to have lost the files, so all I have is me recording my monitor. Sorry. I decided to try make an open world survival game where mythical creatures are hunting you. If you are a game dev, you already know what happened to this game. I worked on it for like a month, but I didn't really get anything done. This is also the time I started trying to 3D model, and as you can tell, I was a complete natural. But I quickly gave up on the idea as I'd only been using Unity for like 4 days when I started, and I took on a task even AAA studios would find challenging. After my complete failure with the 3D game, I tried a 2D game, and this was supposed to be a high score game where inside a lava lamp, but I didn't really know how to make art, so I made the player a tennis ball and I made the obstacles bowling balls. I know, it looks great. I also have some power-ups in here to slow down time, and I gotta say, this kinda feels like a game. Never mind. I for some reason decided to repurpose the survival game into a shooter, which is why I don't have the survival game anymore. I don't really remember this game, other than the main mechanic, which is that you can't heal, so you're gonna have to turn into someone else if you're low on health. Oh, this enemy AI is top-notch. Okay, so I pick things up and... That was a grenade. So I can pick up guns, shoot them, and as you can tell, it's very polished. I also made some weird weapons such as a shuriken that defies all laws of physics, and I'm pretty sure was inspired by this small indie game called Apex Legends. Oh, I actually have a second version of this game where I tried to remake it but better. And I actually think I did a pretty good job. I spent a lot of time making animations for everything, and honestly, they still look pretty good. I abandoned this game because I realized that it would take me too long to complete, which would become a recurring theme. Every game dev can relate. I made animations for all the weapons, such as a pickup, reload, and even a reload when the gun is empty. I'd love to revisit this game someday. I remember I would spend hours every day working on these animations until they turned out just how I wanted them. This has to be one of my coolest game ideas ever. On to my next game, Shop Drifting, which is my favorite game I've ever made, and in the future I plan to remake it and release it, so subscribe if you want to see that happen. It's basically an arcade racing game, but the players are shopping carts. You get given a shopping list to complete, and the first person who completes it wins. You can drift, get power-ups. What I'm trying to say is that this game has a lot of potential. It was super fun to play with friends, and the only reason I stopped was because I didn't know how to make online multiplayer, which is why I moved on to this next game. This is Q-Brawl. I started this game because I wanted to test out online multiplayer. It was supposed to just be a simple platformer, but with a twist, that if you catch up with another player, you can kill them and send them back to the start. Wow, this is way too easy. Anyways, I had it working on my computer, but the game had one big downside. If you wanted to play it with someone else, you'd have to find out their IP address, which, you know, it's a bit of a security risk, so it never left my PC. I desperately wanted to learn multiplayer, so I bought a course where they taught me how to make this game. It doesn't really do much, and it's honestly just a little test. For my 8th game, I was inspired when I saw a video by Sebastian Lage where he makes a wildlife simulation, so I tried to do that, but I failed miserably. I remember I even had a bug at one point where the rabbits would start hunting foxes, so this is as far as I got. It was just a fox hunting rabbits, nothing special, but I think it would be nice to revisit it one day. My 9th game is called Thanks-Taking. This is actually the first game I ever released, and no, I didn't know what Thanks-Taking meant when I named it. A very poor choice. But basically it's just about a turkey who hunts people on Thanksgiving night to get its revenge. It's a pretty cool idea. This is the game that taught me the most about making games because I had to finish it, so I needed to know every little detail of the process. And since I didn't spend anything on the game, well, apart from 8 months of my life, I made a hefty $120 profit. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not the best game, so please don't buy it. Actually, I'll make it free right now for everyone to not enjoy. And this one and only review is really sending me mixed signals. My 10th game is Webbound, which is the most recent one I've released, and I'm incredibly proud of it. I used everything I've learned over the years for this game and it really shows. This is actually when I started to take YouTube seriously and I've gained over 400 subscribers in the last 6 months. So thank you. Wait, you're not subscribed yet? How are you gonna see all the cool content I have planned? Anyways, you play as a spider on your web, trying to survive as long as possible against harsh weather, starvation, and predators. If you have an Android device and you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description for it. I'm very proud of how this game looks and feels, and I'd even go as far as to say that it's fun. I heard mobile games are very profitable, and it's true. I've made over $0.02 off it, which is a 100% profit for me. My next game is EvoCell. I made this for the Squarespace Game Jam in just 2 days, and the theme was evolution, so I made a tower defense game where you're actually evolving a cell under a microscope to protect it from viruses. I accidentally deleted all the files from the Game Jam, and I couldn't add it back, so I didn't win. That's the only reason. Trust me, it would've won. It would've. For my 12th game, I recently got quite obsessed with horror games, so I made this little demo just to test out if horror is something I could make, and honestly it turned out quite terrifying even though I only spent a day making it. For these next 3 games, I actually have a video on my channel, so I'm not going to go in depth. This is Railway Riders. It's from a challenge where I remade Subway Surfers in 12 hours. This is Bird Blast. I didn't actually make this game, I had ChatGPT make it for me, and it's supposed to just be a Flappy Bird clone. And my next game is Fruiter Shooter. I remade Fruit Ninja but in 3D and I turned it into an FPS game. Right now, I'm working on a horror game, but I won't tell you anything about it yet, so you'll have to subscribe to not miss out when I reveal it. And let me know what game was your favorite, because if enough people ask for it and vote on it in the comments, I'll probably revisit it with my current skills. Honestly, it doesn't feel like I've been doing this for 3 years. I still feel like there's so much to learn, and I'm really proud of my progress so far. I don't see myself stopping game dev anytime soon because I love it so much, and one day Wishbone Games will be up there with Rockstar Games. Mark my word. And I have a lot of cool ideas for games and videos, and if you enjoyed this video, maybe you could consider just staying around and see what I do next. And as always, thank you for watching.